This is weird.
From the land of conjurers, flying through the air to your device like a UAP, hauntingly unexplained and downright weird, this is the Witching Hours, and we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever or whenever you are listening to this program. I am Frosty, and joining me, as always, is the medium Jenny Lee. How are you doing, Jenny?
The flash of some lightning is more like it. This is the second show in a row where it looks like I'm going to be in the storm room instead of the sun room.
Yeah.
So hopefully all goes well.
As the thunder crackles in the distance. Well, it's a good night for it. Welcome in, everyone. We're so excited to have you here with us tonight. We got a great show for you, and we are excited to have you all here. Storm. Well, our story lately has been we need rain.
Yes.
And we haven't been getting it. And we keep getting like storms that come by and crackle and fizz and blacken the skies, and then no rain comes. So it looks like we're finally getting it on the nights that we stream. So
yes. Thanks for that, Mother Nature.
And on the Witching Hours. So once again, welcome in, everyone. We got a great show for you tonight. Joining us tonight is going to be guest Patti Negri. We are very much looking forward to talking with her tonight. So, find a beverage, a warm beverage, a cold beverage of your choice, and snuggle up. Find a good place to hang out tonight because we got a great show for you. Just to mention really quick at the beginning, we did recently have Team Weird Takeover at the Lord Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland. It was so great seeing everyone who came to hang out with us over the weekend. So many wonderful guests: Sam Baltrusis, Andrew Warburton, Irene Kelouise, Danica McCann, Kim Sage, and our very own Alyson the Priestess of Wonderland. We had great classes and talks and lectures and side quests and investigations and the Samonts and all the wonderful things we had. So thank you, everyone who helped make that happen. And thanks to all of you who came out to hang out with us. We're already looking forward to the one next year. So, Jenny, let's go ahead and get started tonight because we have a limited amount of time. We are going to do things a little bit different tonight. We're going to flip things around. We're going to have our guests on first tonight, and then at about the top of the hour, roughly about 9 o'clock, we're going to go and do our weird news and bring Alyson in for the moon phase update. Maybe she can let us know what in the heck's going to go on with July. All right, here we go. The Good Witch of Hollywood, Patti Negri, is a psychic medium and a good witch, best known for her recurring role in the Discovery Channel's top-rated series Ghost Adventures. Her wildly popular television and streaming series appearances have garnered over 1 billion views, including appearances on MasterChef, America's Got Talent, and Portals to Hell. Patti is an international best-selling author of Old World Magic for the Modern World: Tips, Tricks, and Techniques to Balance, Empower, and Create a Life You Love. Patti hosts her popular podcast, The Witching Hour, which you can find wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please welcome to the show, the Good Witch of Hollywood, Patti Negri.
Hey, everybody. So good to be back. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you, Jenny Lee, for having me on again. This is awesome.
Thank you. So excited to have you.
Yeah, we got to do a little hangout. We got lucky. We got sat next to you at the Hanover Tavern Paracon last year, so we were able to hang out a little bit.
I was trying to remember where I never know where
yes.
I am.
I know, right?
We're all the time.
Right next to each other. I have no idea what state we were in.
Hanover Tavern Paracon in Virginia.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You're everywhere all the time, so it's no surprise that you can't remember.
I'm everywhere all the time, and it starts blending together in my funny little brain,
right.
But I love it all.
Yeah, you'd have to in order to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have
wherever you are
doing it. Yeah.
I know. Well, we were talking about that recently because I mean, you do so many events every year, and following you on social media, you are here and there, and we were talking to you. It's just like jet setting around everywhere. And we go to Hanover Tavern Paracon, which is local to us, and we went up to like the Paracon in Connecticut last year, and like we were just like dog tired after the weekend. And I was like, I can't imagine just out again the next weekend, and that's what you do. So you
Yeah,
gotta have a love
that's
for
what
it.
I do. My poor puppy just sees a suitcase. It's good. Like last week, I was gone for weeks on end, and I literally flew home for like 5 hours. That was tough. That was time to like unpack your suitcase, put in fresh clothes, and leave again. My dog's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I need a few days home in between. I really do. I think last year I had 35 trips. This year, 30 something. And it adds up, but it's good. But this year, I'm actually all within the last several years. It's been very international. This year, it's all in the States. So
Okay.
that saves some plane time, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure.
Well, Patti, oftentimes we have guests on, especially, for the first time being able to talk to you on the witching hours, we wanted to be able to, I guess, kind of start at the beginning a little bit and talk about how you got into this world that you're into now. How did all that begin for you?
I came in kicking and screaming. Last thing I want. No, I truly, I mean, I've always had the gift. I'm sure like you, I was talking to spirits when I was not even in kindergarten. I just knew they weren't imaginary. They were real. I always had an obsession with talking to the dead. I literally did my first seance when I was 7 or 8 years old in my little suburban Los Angeles area home, and been doing it ever since. But I kept it very, and on the witchy side of things, I would also be in the backyard picking rosemary and mint and stuffing it in my mom's purse, knowing to give her money or doing that. She didn't always get that. She was like, "Why are you putting dirt in my bag? Not money." No, yeah, it is. And years later, I study herbs. Yes, but I kept it very separate. I've had, oh my God, so many careers. But I was a performer when I was young. I was an actor. I was a dancer. I'm not that great at it, but my claim to fame is I got to dance with Gregory Hines. But then when I got literally too old for Hollywood at 30, literally at 30, I'm like, well, I'll become a producer and I'll produce myself. I'll hire myself, which I did. I ran my production company for 20 years, Brain Brew Entertainment. And I'm like, these people really can't know. On one hand, I talk to dead people, and on the other hand, I dance around bonfires in a cloak. I was producing shows for Fortune 500 companies, Microsoft, Mattel, leading banks all around the world, creating song and dance extravaganzas, filming. I'm like, just as my private life. And again, still traveling though, because I create a life to travel. We'd be doing scavenger hunts in the Greek islands and whatever. But in 2008, the big corporate crash came when corporate, I think it's the beginning of almost that Epstein stuff. It's like corporate entertainment is not a jet full of girls, going, no, we're creating, ethics for oil men through a Saturday Night Live sketch. But all of a sudden, my little production company was, and at the same time, reality TV was going up, up, up. And again, me being experienced on all sides, had all my back. And somebody called me, one of the people who had been to one of my seances. And she's like, "Patti, we need you to do one of your seances on a reality show." Oh, thank you. No, thank you. My private life, I keep that very private.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't lie about anything, but my public persona is not that. Please, no. And I'm sitting here looking at my completely empty calendar going, ugh. And I kind of went, well, what's the name of the show? And literally with a straight face, she goes, well, it's called Mobile Home Disaster. And it's on country music television. I'm like, who would watch that? Nobody I know would watch that. My corporate clients wouldn't watch that. Maybe I could just do this one. I mean, I need the job. Maybe. You guys, I went, and it was the most fulfilling day I'd had since I could remember.
Yeah.
I got to help this beautiful little human girl that everybody thought was crazy because she was drawing portals on the ceiling of her motorhome. I'm like, no, there are portals on the ceiling of her motorhome. I got to help a spirit who had this big message for the family. And equally good, I got to just slightly open the mind of the Southern Bible Belt cast and crew that this isn't dark, this isn't evil. And it was just like, oh my God, I was never again. I'm never going to do it again. But this was the best day ever. So the show aired a couple months later. And I was like, this is good. Of course I do. I'm legit. And I'm like, never again. Nobody's going to watch it. Oh my God. My first call that that very next morning, I'm sitting in my production office, my biggest corporate client, a national client. And never again. I'm like, hi, Patty. Hi. I saw you on television last night. Oh, yeah. I didn't know you were into the paranormal. And I'm thinking, oh my God, my life is over. I'll never work in this town again. And I went, yeah, as my voice is like cracking. And she goes, oh, I love the paranormal. And proceeded to tell me her first supernatural experience, her first ghost story. And I'm like, what am I doing? Wow. What am I doing? I'm out of the broom closet. I'm out of the psychic medium closet. And I just haven't looked back. I still have my production company. Don't even have time to do it. This is so much more fun than creating, again, HR policy via so, and I haven't looked back. So, but it really was kicking and screaming. This has never been on this was my world, who I was. I've always been magical, but did not think that this would be a career.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story. And
it
gives me hope.
Yeah. Right. Just jump in with both feet. That's
right.
It.
Just have to be yourself. And if spirit wants you to be doing it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people in this world struggle with that, of almost having to live double lives, just to a certain extent, like a public life and a personal life, because they're afraid of what people will say if they know that you're into the paranormal. But just like you said, Patty, that was one of the things that I've realized the most, though, is even people who you would never think that would be in the paranormal, the second it gets brought up, that's when you get those, I talk about all the time on this shows, those, this one time stories. Now, this one time, I saw this thing and I didn't know what it was. And it gives them an outlet for someone to talk to. So more often than not, they're more excited to be able to broach a subject that they don't get to talk about very often.
Right. That they're not going to be judged by, that they're really afraid to talk about in their personal life. Yeah.
For sure.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. We have a question from Luce.
Okay.
Do each of the dolls have spirits in them?
My girls? No, not each of them by any means. I would never get any work done. My main girl is Belle. Everybody watching, the girl in burgundy and back. She's the girl actually on the back of my Dollcraft book. She is my main haunted spirit. She is my baby girl. We've gone through years together, and most of them not. I have one that's over the she's hiding right now. Salem is adding a spirit. But I'm real picky about my haunted dolls. I'm not going to have a low vibration or negative haunted doll because this is my home. I don't want that. So they have to all get along. It has to, counseling before they come in. That's why I made Dollcraft. It's like everybody wants dolls now. And it's like, there is some proper care and feeding of this. You're bringing a spirit into your house. Just don't go on eBay and find the scariest, darkest one you can. Number one, half of them are not real. And the other two, the ones that are real, it's like, maybe you could make your own. Make them call in a spirit or check out your referrals. So, they are not all spirited. Actually, basically, I say a total of 2, 1 and 2 1/2 that are just taking on a spirit, because you also can have energy in a doll that isn't a ghost. I talked about that in my, it's like it has the spirit of something, the spirit of its history and whatever, all that, but not necessarily housing a spirit per se. So I would say I have 1.5 working on 2.
So the Belle doll does have an actual human spirit,
actual human spirit in her. And she was, I don't know how many years I've had her now. Again, I've been in this business a long time, and I'm a doll collector. The reason I even did Dollcraft is like, if I turn my camera around, there is hundreds of eyes. Mostly Barbies. I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah.
But I've always been a doll since I was in. But I think when I came out of my mother's womb, I had a doll collection, but not necessarily haunted. But my book, Dollcraft, was how I brought my 2 worlds together, my paranormal world with the haunted dolls, because people need a thing. And then my witchy world with how to do puppets and make magical dolls too, because that brings my 2 worlds together. but a girl had sent Bill to me. She had seen me on no, it wasn't even Ghost Adventures. It was a Ghost Adventures spinoff called Deadly Possessions, doing a seance with Peggy the doll. Very dark. She's given 2 people heart attacks,
Woo.
80 people sick, even looking at pictures of her or videos of her, all documented. So she figured, if watching me on television, holding this little plastic doll's hand, that if I could handle Peggy, I could handle Belle. She asked me if she would send her. So I said yes. And this doll was so powerful. This was years ago. And I had never, ever done a Facebook Live before. I'm not that big. I mean, I'd post on it, but I had never done a Facebook Live before. And I'm like, for some reason, I was just led to do it. I think the doll, I'm going to do an unboxing. And I know unboxing is a thing in itself. But for me, that did not have that many followers at the time. And I certainly, 50,000 people watched me open that doll.
Wow.
I don't get numbers like that. It wasn't me. It was the doll. It was the doll. And then I opened it up. And there's this beautiful doll with a really, really dark spirit. And I'm like, but I just knew there was a positive spirit inside as well. I just knew. But I banished that dark spirit. Again, this is a home where I sleep. I have my husband, I have my dog, I have my cat. You just energy drained at very least. So I banished it before sunset. And then this beautiful little girl came out. Though even then I had to keep the herb rue in her hand again, because even then it was so new, she drained people. But now she's just part of the family. It's from the animals avoiding her completely to cuddling up with her.
So how did this doll come to be having 2 different spirits in it? How does that even happen?
I think the one spirit that is in it is probably literally the spirit of the little girl who maybe had her. She's a 115-year-old German doll. She's porcelain, composite fingers, which is like wood, pre-plastic wood mixed with glue and things. I think that little girl spirit, I think she lived a short and not great life, literally went into, for a while I was thinking, what if she's a mourning doll? But I don't think she is, where they put little bits of somebody's hair or locks into it. But I don't think she was. I think that spirit, but whatever was on top of it, what was the reason the girl sent her to me was this doll literally had made her and her little kid sick for like 3 years, made their hair fall out. I was like, I don't have enough hair. I'm not going my hair to fall out. No. And she had to keep her in the shed or in a drawer. So she got.
Is that what happened to me?
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Jeez.
See? So that's just how that came about, and then it just became a thing.
Wow.
We got a follow-up question about the darker energy. Do you think the previous owners created the darker energy by thinking it's darker than it was? Kind of like a thought form.
Oh, very good question. They would feed it. They would certainly feed it. If you think something is bad and you think it's making you sick, you're going to make that happen. I don't think it was a ghost spirit. I think it was something like a created spirit or something that never was human that got into it. But I got rid of it so fast. I did not want to sit there and discover and analyze it, because sitting in my house, it's like the sun's going to set and you're done. We did this whole banishing and it was exhausting.
That brings up a really good subject to broach with you too, which is the idea of thought forms. It's been something that we've been talking about kind of heavily, and it's kind of taken over a lot of my ideas when we are doing paranormal investigation. The question that keeps coming into my head a lot of times now is how much of the stuff that people are experiencing in haunted locations are actual spirits, and how much, especially with kind of a boom in paranormal research, is actual thought forms that people are kind of creating in these areas. And
that's a good question. And I agree. And a lot of it is. I think there's combinations of, yes, actual spirits. Yes, the ghost of whatever did there. Yes, there's thought forms. Something, again, that's when you go to the dark places. They always make us go on TV, the asylum, the prison, energy, so much energy of darkness or pain or sadness or lack or whatever. And then items hold energy as well. So I think, and then you can get the everything else category, things that were never human, elemental realm, angelic demonic realm. I think demons get way too much credit. I think very little of what people think are demons. Like, no, just a cranky ghost. It wants you to think it's a demon. It's just he's cranky in life, he's cranky in death.
There's plenty of jerks that are still jerks when they're on the other side.
Yeah. But I do really think that most spirits are good. It's just, I love to go to happy ghost places like the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, where the ghosts are swinging from the chandelier because they got an Academy Award there, or the Roosevelt, Marilyn's walking by the pool, or the Biltmore at the presidential suite where Marilyn's dancing on she's everywhere, by the way. Not the dark spooky places, but everybody wants to go to the dark spooky places because we're humans and that's what we want to see. But that's what we put on our YouTube, that's what we put on our TV show. It's funny, but most people, again, go to a mall, go to a ball game, go to the movies. Most people are good. There might be one or two serial killers in there, but probably not.
One place I thought about that, Patty, was a couple of years ago. We went, I guess it was last summer, maybe we went to the Baseball Hall of Fame and in New York, in Cooperstown. And I told Jenny when we were there, I was like, I'd love to be able to come in here after hours for a paranormal investigation, just because I think that's what you would find. It wouldn't be the spooky ghost in the corner that had, influenza or whatever, but instead, maybe someone who was reliving glory days or,
their glory days. Hit that home run one more time.
And all of those items that have all this energy put in them. For sure. Alyson wants to know, have you ever been to the Lord Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland?
No, I haven't. I've not. I would like to. I don't know that I've even been to Maryland. If I maybe have, and I don't know it. I don't remember it. But
Patty, you probably have been to Maryland.
maybe, but no, I know I haven't been there.
Yes, we were just there last weekend for our Teamer takeover, and it was
good.
There's some pretty heavy energy there.
Really?
It was a hotel built in the 1920s. I can't remember the exact year. I want to say it was like 27, somewhere around the 1927. And it's like a French, French Renaissance revival art style kind of in it. Nice. It's a very beautiful hotel. But evidently there are some negative things that happened there a couple years later because of the stock market crash. So there's some negative.
So all of our sensitive folks that were there for the weekend were picking up on all of that stuff.
Yeah. Hotels do that. If I think people they're going to kill themselves, they get out of their house, they go rent a hotel room.
Right.
Yeah, they do. So jump out the window. The darkest place I've ever been, though, literally of all the places I've been all around the world, is the Cecil Hotel, right in downtown LA, right where I
wow.
It is so dark. I mean, both of you, anybody, even walking a half a block, you are depressed. You want to die. You want to kill yourself.
Wow.
It's like you feel hopeless. Every room you walk by is worse. And it's since the day it was born and the stock market crash hit, it's been a place of failure. And it's always been like a drug in a flop house, which is going to bring in the dark energies. It's just.
Yeah.
I
think we watched a documentary on that, Jinx.
Yeah, I've probably been there more than anybody because I did a 2-episode Ghost Adventures there, and I did a 4-episode overnight with Elton, my YouTubers there. I did a CW show not too long ago, and now it's sad. It's a great idea, but not executed. They're moving. It's on Skid Row. There's so many homeless people. They're moving in homeless people, but people don't want to move in. They'd rather be on the street because it just makes you feel so bad. So that's not working either.
That was one of the things I talked about when we went to the Lord Baltimore Hotel. Whenever I just think there's a high likelihood that almost any hotel you could go to is going to have some kind of haunting to it. Just not because people are even, not just because people are there and tragic things happen, but just the amount of constant movement that's happening in a hotel.
Right.
Every day people are in and out, and there's just energy in a hotel every day, and especially for one that's been around for 100 years.
Yep.
There's bound to be some kind of energy attached there, right?
Yeah, 100%. Space is whole, and people coming in and having good times, having bad times, yes.
Yeah. I've even realized, and I wonder, Patty, if you've ever picked up on things like this too, and because you travel so much, but I've just realized, like, I have about a 35-40 minute commute on the interstate every day. And I've noticed that I pick up on things as I'm driving, of like things that have happened on the interstate. And it took me a long time to realize that it wasn't something that was going to happen to me, that it was just like something that had already happened. Does that ever happen to you?
Well, it has. That's why I am the queen of the on-off switch. Excuse me, on-off switch. It's like if I'm driving, I'm going to the grocery store, I'm at a show, I'm off. I don't want to see anybody's dead mom. I don't want to. That's the first thing I teach people in my school. It's like to develop your mediumship, develop your psychic, come up with an on-off switch. But yes, other than that, I do. When I don't have it on, you feel it. You see it on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, and one of the few experiences that I've had just taking medium classes and like trying to learn a little bit was when I was driving home from work, and I stopped at a stoplight, and I think, I was kind of in that kind of driving groove where you're just kind of, getting along, but your brain's kind of somewhere else. And all of a sudden I had someone there to talk to me, and I was like, I kind of freaked out for a second, and I was like, I can't talk to you right now. I'm trying to drive. And then they went away, and then I kind of shut it off. So I can definitely see driving that way too. So it's kind of interesting because so not only maybe are you kind of able to get into a zone for that kind of thing, but then also all the things that happen, I guess, like you said, on the interstate, Jenny. So were you kind of picking that up as sometimes like, I think something is getting ready to happen, but instead it was something that
for
might
a
have
long
already
time
happened?
I kept thinking it was like a premonition. And
Okay.
then I realized, no, I'm picking up on stuff that's already happened.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Okay, so we have kind of a long, well, it's not that long of a question, but it has a little backstory to it.
Okay.
So we have a question from Fantasy Animal Vegan about something that happened to us last weekend at the Lord Baltimore. So we were doing a spirit box session, and all of this sexual information started coming through, like inappropriate things through the voice box. And we found out later that there was a group there at the same time that we were that had to do with sexual assault in the workplace. And it might have been like something a little bit off about it, not just that it was, So the question is, do you think that with this other group of people that brought all their energy in, that they brought in spirits with them that were coming and bringing that information to us through the spirit box?
Probably. I mean, if that's too weird of a coincidence that you're getting all sexual that you're not necessarily used to getting in a thing like that, and that's what they're doing. That means their focus, their everything is about this sexual stuff, good or bad or whatever it was. All that energy is going to create something to come in. So
because we were just like, it must have been, right? Because like that didn't seem like things that should have been coming through there based on what we knew about it,
We had probably the most active spirit box session. I mean, we don't do a ton of investigations, but there's definitely the most I've ever. I mean, everyone who we were doing the Estes method, and it was just like constant, like wait, it was almost too much. It was like,
too
what's
much
going
information.
on here?
Yeah.
And it was all very, no matter who was kind of under the headphones there, it was like, I don't want to say what I'm hearing.
I can't say this.
So
our poor 15-year-old daughter was the first one to go on. And she was like, oh, I can't say that. Nope, I'm not saying this. I'm like, good Lord.
Wow.
It was wild. Yeah,
that was interesting. And we kind of found out about that stuff afterwards. So
to go, let's get off of that subject. Okay, to go back, I wanted to go back to the dolls. We talked about the haunted dolls, but I want to talk about the magic dolls. So what is a poppet? And how do you create magic dolls?
Poppets? Let me example for it. puppets have been around absolutely forever, and every culture. A puppet and people. Okay, this is me. This is my puppet.
Cute.
I'm not so artsy craftsy, but it has my name on it. It has a necklace I always wear, my little pinnacle. So you make them for spell casting. You make them for health, love, money. This is sympathetic magic. Like, say if I fell down and bumped my head, worried about getting a headache, I might stick a needle in the head of my puppet. So people, it was a voodoo doll. No, they've been used in every culture throughout time. Dolls have been used in magic. You could make about it anything: clay, material, cute, not cute. One of my favorite ones. And I'm as artsy craftsy as a drunken blindfolded 6-year-old. Truly, it just does not translate to my hands from my mind. I am really big on paper napkin puppets.
Oh.
Because if I'm very ecologically, environmentally conscious. So say if it's something you want to, you could bury it, you could burn it, you can keep it on your altar, you could do whatever. But if this is something I want to bury or put in a waterway, you can get completely organic and biodegradable paper napkin. Stuff your herbs or whatever, your tag locks. Tag locks are something that personalize it to you. You can make astrological sign, put your breath into it. People, that's where put fingernail clippings in your hair. That's just that's the tag lock to make it to yours. But I make them protection for my dog, my cat, my husband, me. And again, half the book is how to make everything from edible to every kind of whatever. Protection, binding. I don't do any dark magic. I don't do because you don't need to. I believe you can get everything you want from light magic. So why would you have to live in that world? Not good or bad, heaven or hell. You have to live in the world you create.
Right.
But if I need to do a binding, I can make one of these and just bind its hands from hurting me or whatever that I'm working on. So it gives you something tangible to work with. It gives you something, again, you change the herbs, you change the oils, whatever it is. And that's magic of dolls. Magic of dolls.
Just the word puppet is very fun to say.
Yeah. Puppet. And it is fun. And again, they don't have to be fancy, and they can be very, very powerful.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was of course familiar with the voodoo doll, but that always gets the bad rap of it being you're going to
right,
do
because
something
people
bad
don't
to someone.
understand. This
Yeah.
is like witches get bad rap, voodoo gets worse.
Of course, yeah.
But again, it's sympathetic magic. It's there to represent something or someone. If you're making a protection one and you want to put it in a shoe bag with salt around it, you're going somewhere, maybe a travel puppet, put sigils and symbols and the right herbs and crystals and all that stuff going into it. So.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Thanks.
And they're cute.
They're
cute, Patty.
Yeah, I think the funniest example of anybody, all my witchy movies, Witches of Eastwick, Cher, they made the clay one of Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
that was very funny. But if you make one and you rip the arm off, their arm doesn't rip off.
Yeah,
that's the movies. Yeah.
Yes.
But I wouldn't do dark magic. It is powerful magic. But
yeah.
Speaking of movies and television, I wanted to ask you about what is it like to work in television now that you've been doing the witchy, woo-woo, spiritual, paranormal. Like, what is that experience like? It's
great. I just feel every time I'm the luckiest girl in the world that I get to fly to places and go to scary, great places that I love to do. I must say I am always scared to death that, like, what if I get nothing? What if, because we get scared, even though, okay, I've been doing this a long, doesn't matter. And I honestly, both with Ghost Adventurers or with TFIL or Sam and Colby, these groups I work with, I do not know where I'm going ever. I mean, I'm literally blindfolded, or they're flying you with Portals to Hell flew me to Memphis. I didn't know where I was going to Memphis. And you're blindfolded, you're in a place. And I'm always like, just what if I get crickets? But every place seems to be so bad. It's like, okay, 2 murders here and this here and this here and feel this and whatever that is. But I'm always a little worried.
Right.
I must say, got to get out of my way. And I teach this stuff. And it's still
Yeah.
out of your head, get out of your head. And then
Mhm.
I tell my students, just don't worry about being wrong. It doesn't matter. It's okay to be wrong. And the more you make it okay to be wrong, the less you're going to be wrong because you haven't thrown it in that left logical brain.
Yeah.
But it's great. I've gone to some of the craziest, most wonderful and beautiful things. And again, you don't see all of it on TV. I remember we were at the Black Dahlia house, and one of the daughters, my friend Fauna Hodel, who was the daughter, probably granddaughter and daughter of George Hodel, the Black Dahlia murderer, she had promised her mother on her bed we would cross over this spirit. Not Elizabeth Short, not the Black Dahlia, but another spirit her mother had talked to. And we got to do that with Zach, with the team. We all saw it. We all felt it, the cross into the light. They did not show that part on TV. It's not the style of the show, but we did it. It was amazing to get to do this stuff. And again, people don't quite get it. Well, you guys know it's not, people don't realize that it takes 4 days to shoot that 44 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's over here and over here. I remember the first time somebody complained about me. It's like, that's a sign of success, right? Patti, she's got to be a fake. Why is she always looking at camera? Why does she speak in sound bites? Why isn't it whatever butt shots? And I didn't say anything because you're not supposed to, but I felt like, no, we had 3.5 days of bad butt shots and this and that and everything. They just edited that out. This is beautiful thing called editing.
Yes.
But I just, I'm so, and I've got to experience in working, everybody I work with is passionate about it. Zach and the guys, what everybody says, they are passionate about it. It's like watching 8-year-olds play in the sound box or the 10-year-olds in their best. That's why they're in season 900. That is why we just finished shooting a new season. And the same thing with Elton Castay, my overnight crew. I think they're the next generation, one generation lower of Zach. The commitment, the passion they put into it, which is the ones that list. And to get to work with that I'm just the luckiest girl in the world. And then to experience, and again, get scared. I love to get scared. And I get scared. I mean, I've had people bursting into flames at one of my seances. I've had broken ribs. I've had cracked tailbone. I've had, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
And none of that puts you off from doing any of it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But fear, when I changed my diet, it'd be about fear. Fear could freeze you in your tracks, make you not live the life you want to live. Or it's the best motivator out there. And it's $1 billion industry in the town where I live. That's why we go to the scary places or ride roller coasters or adventure trash. So as soon as you embrace fear, like, I'm so scared, I can't wait to do it. It changes your whole life trajectory of everything you look at and how you look at it.
Yeah.
Does it ever bother you that some of the more positive things that happen in those 4 days of shooting don't make it to the show, to the airing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but I understand. I do understand television. Like, we're not going to go watch the nightly news and see all the good things that happen.
Right.
They're just not.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
It's the same thing. But again, if I ruled the world, if I ever have a show, it's going to be positive.
Yeah, and better because you're the good witch.
I'm just saying the quality will not therefore give me a show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frosty, did you want to talk? You had a question about the paranormal television.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, this is something we've been talking about a little bit. It seems like paranormal television definitely went through like a height. It seems like right now, obviously, there's been a little bit of decline in paranormal programming. I would say in the mainstream media, maybe even bigger explosion when we talk about like, podcasts and YouTube and Facebook and like maybe even more stuff that's being produced now. But do you see a landscape where something like that is going to come back again? Do you think there's just a break that needs to be taken, or do you think there's just been a shift overall and something different that's caused that?
I think it has to change. I think we've been there, done that for however many years. You could only, oh, hey, bro, whatever, get scared, run to, run away, run to. it needs other angles on it, whether positive things or add science things. People have tried little twists to add more to it, but I love that now anybody could have a YouTube channel or go on Spirit Realm or go on My Network Paraflix or do whatever you don't have to wait for somebody to hire you to do a thing. And that gives us such freedom.
Mhm.
Network does not know what it's doing with himself. Not just paranormal. It doesn't know what it's doing with reality television. Not everything could be housewives of, Pacoima housewives. So reality TV is scared, and it's because of streaming. It doesn't know what to do. So I could have a whole conversation, not even about the paranormal part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing, because it's a changing market, and with all the stuff going in, I don't think paranormal is going to go away, though, not even in mainstream, because paranormal is not going away. I believe
Right.
that the veil is thinning all the time as we move into whatever that age of Aquarius they sang about in the 60s. More and more unexplainable by old-fashioned terms is happening. So more and more people are having experience it, so it's not going to go away. It just needs some reinvention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess this kind of goes off what you just said too. I was talking to Jenny about this earlier today when we were talking about you coming on the show tonight, and that was, how have you seen, like, we talk about the shift a lot on this show. We have a lot of guests that talk about like the shift into like a different density or the age of Aquarius or like whatever this thing is that people seem to be experiencing. How have you seen that change since you kind of got into that world?
Well, it's amazing. Again, I do think that veil is thinning. And I think one of the coolest things is that science is catching up with spirituality and the magic of things. Science, quantum sciences and everything. Even in the technology, that's changed. In the olden days, again, they didn't want the mediums on the team. It was tech, all the tech nerds. And now everybody wants to have their medium or their psychic. And me, it's like, I could be going, okay, I'm doing a seance, and I could tell you there is a ghost doing jumping jacks on the table. You believe me or you don't believe me. But now there's a guy with an SLS camera in another room who can't see or hear me with a ghost doing jumping jacks. Like, yes, exactly. I like it for the confirmation. Or I'll say a name or you'll say a name, and then that name comes out. So I love that technology is and again, all these quantum sciences and again, we're living in such a weird time. We need to step outside of it. We need to step into the magic, have magic still in our world. The mundane world is spooky and dark and hate and fear and control. So let's bring in some magic, even if it's spooky ghosts and things.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Speaking of magic, Frosty, do you have a follow-up question on that?
Well, no, just to comment on that, because we talked about how, like, at one time, like a lot of like when the shows kind of first started, is like they didn't want to. It was like very kind of not having mediums on the shows, and I want to say, like, personally for me, I've gotten to the opposite end of the spectrum where I really like when we investigate having multiple mediums, because that's even more fun, and we've gotten really interesting things just from having. Like even just last weekend where you have 6 or 7 mediums who are kind of all investigating together and picking up on the same things. And I don't think there's a limit.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely.
I was gonna switch up a little bit talking about magic. So I'm assuming it's your first book, The Old World Magic from the Modern World.
That was my first book. Yeah.
Yes. So are there some, as a medium myself who does readings for all types of people all the time, and people aren't usually getting readings if their life is perfect and going well. They're getting readings because stuff's going wrong and they need help, right? So thinking about the magical the witchy part of this, because that is not my wheelhouse. Do you have some simple tips for changing your life for the positive?
Right. And that is what this book is. I wrote this book because the one thing I noticed working with clients, like I work with clients, is that everybody's given away their power. They give away their power to fear, to other people, to limiting belief systems. It's just grab it back. And one thing, as well as giving, sorry, I keep putting my feet up, giving away their power. Giving away their power. Everybody's out of balance. So I wrote this first book. Again, it's super simple. I spent more time unwriting it than writing it to make it a book that you could read it in a couple of days going, oh, kitchen magic, got it. Okay, how to do that. Love magic, got it. Bathroom magic. Why do you put salt in your toilet? Got it. Oh, wait, your chakras are open. You can get rid of a headache going to the bathroom. What? Yes. Okay. Put a glass of water by your bed. The balance thing, I'm an elemental witch. I work with air and fire and water, earth and spirit. And because of the craziness, we're all out of balance. I'm a big believer of that mind, body, spirit that 20,000 books are written about. Mind, we'll know we will never surpass our own belief system. If you don't think you could do something, you're really not going to do it. You think you can climb that mountain, that's the people who do it. Mind, body, you got to get off the couch and take action. You want to get healthy, you get off the couch, you take a walk. Spirit, that's the less tangible. People don't always get what that is, but the mind, body, spirit is actually the battery that makes it happen. In reality, you can get lots of ways. Going through your religion, go to church, go to temple, prayer, all the new age stuff, affirmations, vision boards. What I would do is herbs and oils and candles, oh my. But you guys, everybody is watching and listening. You can look at everything that you've created in your life. You believed you could do it and that you deserved it. That's a big one. You've gotten off the couch and taken some action towards it. And number 3, you've had some faith or magic behind it. The stuff we haven't quite accomplished, 1 or 2 of those things need tweaking, your belief system about it, your action towards it, or that magic. But I live in LA. I have 900 jobs. I need to pull myself together now. I'm out of balance. We're not grounded. So being elemental, I'm going to put me on my body into those 4 elements: air, fire, water, earth. Earth is who you are. It's north. And who you are, your persona, your home. Oh, Frosty, great guy, blah, blah, blah. That's your earth. Your fire in the south, that's what drives you, your passion, creativity, love, sex, God. Who we are, what drives us every day. But where we get off balance in an elemental compass is like this, west and east. West in an elemental compass is water. Water is 70% of our body, and water is the emotion, a tear gentle running down. Air is our breath. It's attached to our breath. It's our thought process. It's focus. It's organization. So who we are and what drives us, our emotions and our thoughts. Where do we get the most off balance? Our emotions and our thoughts. What do we need more than anything to survive more than a few minutes or a few days? Water and air. So if I go back to that mind, body, spirit, I don't have an hour to meditate. I don't even have 5 minutes to do breathing exercises. If I pull in the element, if that nature, God, universe given element, I could do it in 30 seconds. I can. So put your body at air, fire, water. So if you're not as happy as you could be, everybody watching this right now or listening should be, I'm lucky I'm alive. Tomorrow is whatever day I make it. We should all be the happiest people on earth. So if you're not that happy, or maybe you're not being as productive as you want to be, I should be doing that and I don't want to. Or equally important, not as conscious as you want to be. That's what the big they want. That's the zombies. We don't want to be phoned in, by rote, automatic pilot, asleep at the wheel. I go to work, I come home. So again, if you're not as happy or productive or conscious as you want to be, just go, I'm out of balance. Which element is the most out of balance? Okay, it's my emotions. I had a fight with my roommate. Somebody flipped me off on the highway. I drove by dead people, whatever. Justified or not, screamed out the window or seething inside. If it's your emotions that's getting the best of you, that's your water element. You need water. Running water. Think how good you feel after every shower, right? No matter what. After every, so, I mean, you can't jump in a shower a bunch of times a day, but you can find water, a sink, a bathroom, a lunchroom, pouring a little bottle of water on your hand, hose, drinking fountain. So if that mind, walk up to that sink, whatever, mind whether you're talking to water or you're talking to your emotion or you're talking to God, whoever, with this 30 seconds with running my hand with this water, I'm going to release this angst, anger, fear, whatever it is. Mind, body, stick those hands underwater for 30 seconds. the water, just like an aspirin takes away a headache, whether you know why or not, the water will release the excess emotion. Not have you hold it in your jaw or hold it in your belly or hold it in your spine. You've actually released it and it's gone. Then if you need to deal with what caused it, you can go have that talk with your roommate. Okay, this is why I'm mad at you. Wash your hands, Jane. And again, you released it. Now you could have that conversation. So that's when a lot, because our emotions were 70% water. They have to flow, not be judged, stuff down. And the other one is air. How many of you out there get chatty brain? All of us. How many get foggy brain? All of us. Nobody breathes anymore. We went through a couple of years of wearing masks, and now we're always in a hurry. We're doing short, shallow breathing. Yes, we do our breathing exercises at our 3 times a week yoga class or our meditation, but the other 23 hours of the day, we have to breathe. So if all of a sudden you notice like, oh my God, I have an important call. I'm going to go on the witching hours. I have to put my head together, whatever that is. And your head, you're foggy, you're chatty, you just can't think straight. Again, whether you're talking to your mind, your brain cells, God, the universe, the element of air itself, to breathing, but to add to breathing, I do a lot of sound magics. We know science is finding the hertz and every Hecka magic is every sound we make has an effect on us. Every vowel, every consonant, form and function, just like you're learning. That's why we rhyme. That's why we do cadence. That's why we do all this stuff. Not going to give everybody a lesson in Heckas. Vowels will clear the head. Vowels, any vowel, any order. And if you sort of think about it, every sacred word almost is a vowel. Amen. Om. Native American. Hey, East Indian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It opens up this crown of illumination. So falling in love. Roller coaster. So the next time you're going, oh my gosh, I'm going on the witching hours. I can't think. Okay, I need the air element. Again, whether you're talking to God or the universe or air itself, with this 30 seconds of deep breathing, 30 seconds of vowels, I need to pull in the focus and clarity of the air element. So I'm going or om or E-I-E-I-O with my kid. Within 30 seconds, the chatter stops, the fog lifts. Those two, and I'm not telling anybody to get off your meds. Those two, I've seen people get off depression meds just because where we're out of balance. Nobody, and those are the two the most. Sometimes, but though magical people like us, like mediums, people who work often leave our body. Don't you like come back here? We leave our body. That's the earth element. Hug a tree. But if you can't hug a tree or get you grounding, get earthing on the dirt or grass, and you're on your 35th floor, touch anything wood, touch a crystal, touch a granite countertop. This number 2 pencil still has the spirit of that tree it was cut down from, your rock, your crystal, your diamond in your ring. Again, your desk chair. Within 30 seconds, put that breath into it, deep breathing. I feel it like a warm earthen blanket wrapped around me. I'm back in my body, and that's it. And the last one for fire. Fire gets off because, again, it's like we have it in sterno can. Too much. When we have too much fire, we're angsty, we're argumentative, we're angry. We don't. Too much fire is. When we have too little fire, we're lethargic, we're tired, we're uninspired. So we need to balance out the fire. So dance around a bonfire. We can't always do that. Again, I'm at work. We can't even light candles. But the Hecka for the fire element, it's the lightning strike. It's that breath of a dragon, is literally zzz. What is, ask an 8-year-old, what does a bee sound like? Zzz. It's so again, it's the dragon. Within 30, it's like, oh my gosh, I need more. I have too much. I need less. Either it'll balance out either way. Okay, whether you're talking to the element of fire itself, your beating heart, the Holy Spirit, the breath of a dragon, Pele volcano, whatever. 30 seconds of deep breathing, 30 seconds of zzz. I need to balance out that air element. Now, 30 seconds is a long time. I did it about 2 seconds. If you might get dizzy, that's okay. Sit down. But within 30 seconds, you will feel that tingling in the base of your spine. It'll start to work up your kundalini, your spine, all your chakras, and you'll balance out. You'll have the fire, passion, creativity, energy, whatever you need to balance it out. So that was the main thing I wanted to write the book about, because I figured then I won't have to tell people all the time.
Right.
But the whole book is stuff like that. Easy, fast, anybody can do it. You don't have to be a witch. You don't have to be a medium. It doesn't have to interfere with your religion or your belief system. It's working with nature, because whatever our belief system, we are all sitting, gravity holding us down. We are all human, or at least half human.
That actually, like, I think I got called out a little bit there, because I was thinking about, because I do we do our yoga class, and the breathing is always difficult for me, but I never really made the connection between that and being kind of like the air element. Like, that's something that maybe you need to concentrate on. Yeah, the breathing for sure. Yeah.
I mean, just do some 4-count breathing in, hold, and just calm everything.
Chico has a great comment about all of that. She said, I love that intention is what matters most, not being in the perfect place with all the right perfect tools.
Intention is everything in life, in your success, in magic, in spellcasting, and manifestation. Intention is everything.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for explaining that. It all made perfect sense, and it was very simple. So it's so just simple. Like,
I am simple magic. I am
getting into those habits of realizing what's off balance, and then being able to think about what to do to get it together. Yeah, very simple. Yay. Well, we're down to the last few minutes with you. Unfortunately, the hour has gone by very fast.
Yeah. You guys are great hosts. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Will you tell everybody where they can find you on the internet, please?
Yes. The best place, go to pattinegri.com, PATTINEGRI.com, because from there you can get to my podcast, my Witching Hour, singular.
Yes.
I love that we have the same. I'm not that weird. You can get to my streaming network, you can get to my school, University Magicus, where I teach all those things that I do. I have about 20 teachers now, and it's all affordable. I like $20 a class or less. I'll teach you mediumship. When I saw all these TV mediums charging thousands, I was like, that's great, but I couldn't have afforded that. I just want to get the information. So it's live on Zoom. You get a video for the people who don't come or the people that do come. You can get hundreds of videos of me doing this stuff and get both my books, Old World Magic and Dollcraft. And you can get to my legitimate Patti Negri on social media, Patti Negri Psychic Medium on Facebook. Please follow me. Patti.Negri on Instagram, Patti Negri on Twitter and X and Blue Sky and all the others. Because fakes, as we know, come on. I will never contact
Patti. I got my first fake yesterday. I was so excited.
Congratulations.
I made the big time. Somebody made a fake account. All right, Patti.
So yeah, thank you.
And then where can people find you in person next? Where are your next few places?
All over the place. Again, I put this on my website. This is this next couple of months.
There you go.
I am going to be Obscuricon in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, July 23 through 26. Then I'm going right to New Orleans for New Orleans Paracon.
Yeah, you're going to be there with Sam, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes, with Sam. We're going to working together with Sam. I'm so excited. I love him. Coming back home, Long Beach, I'm doing Midsummer Scream, working with Winchester Mystery House and doing 2 seances with Midsummer Scream. Then I'm going up to Virginia City, one of my favorite haunted places, doing investigations, haunted doll tea parties. And then I'm doing something back in LA in August. That's just getting through the next month and a half.
Yeah.
Month and a half. Then I'm going to Scranton, PA, Hollywood, Penhurst twice. Penhurst, I can't believe I got 2 events out of one weekend. I'm doing Underworld Culture Convention in Scranton, PA, and then a Ghost Adventures thing that came up at Penhurst, and it's going to be me and Jay and Aaron and Lauren doing a Penhurst that people can come to. But I'm like, I'm already doing the Underworld Culture, but they worked it around. I'm going to be Friday night at Underworld, Saturday morning teaching a class, getting in a car, driving 2 hours, spending 2 p.m. to 3 a.m. with Ghost Adventures and everybody who wants to come to that, sleep a couple hours, drive back and do it. So I can't believe they were both in Pennsylvania and it worked. So that's magic.
Excellent.
Girl, you're going to be tired.
Well,
you sleep on the plane. Good.
There you go.
All right, Patti. Well,
that
is our
wonderful
time with you. Thank you so much for being on. We love you.
Thank you for having me on. You guys are great. Keep up the good work. Really.
Thank you,
Patty.
And we hope to see you soon.
Yes, me too. We will somewhere. I hope we're next to each other.
Yes, hopefully we'll. Matt, you going to be at Mass Paracon in October?
Yes, I am. You're going to be
we'll
there.
See you there.
We'll see you there.
Yes,
we'll see you there. Okay.
Yay! All right,
Bye.
Patty. Have a good night.
Thank you.
There we go. Excellent. Well, that was good.
Yeah,
that was excellent. We've been talking about having Patty on for a long time, and it finally happened. What a great guest!
We were supposed to have her on a few months ago, and then we had to reschedule.
Yeah, some rescheduling stuff happened, and all of that. So it was great. It was great to have her on. We really got to, as we I don't want to go over too much of it because we had her for a limited time, but we really got to hang out with her a lot at Hanover Tavern Paracon.
Yes,
and she got to hang out with our daughter as well, and they were like sitting right beside each other, so it was like a really cool time, and so we really enjoyed it, and we're like, man, she's gonna be a great guest. So I hope everyone enjoyed that tonight. It seems like you all did. The Witching Hour, go download it, listen to it, the podcast. She has some great guests on there, and the book already sounds wonderful, and all the stuff with the elements tonight, it's got my head kind of going a little bit.
Right, it gave me a lot of things to think about.
I was wondering if it gave you some things to think about as well, because that's
absolutely,
it's interesting.
It made it seem so simple.
Yeah, just thinking about like those things, like breath, like, you know, and for us here, it's a little bit easier. Like, go for a walk by the river,
right?
You know, like that weekend, like, hey, maybe I got some time on Sunday, I should go get a little water. I need to focus on breathing.
I find myself being called to water, like I have to go to the river, and I wonder if that's why my emotions are all out of whack. All right, well, it's time to bring on Alyson, the Priestess of Wonderland, and it looks like she might be okay with her electricity.
Yes,
Alyson, how are the storms gone now?
It's still, the lightning's still flashing. It feels like the rain has died down a little bit, though.
Okay, good. We had like a lull, and now I hear it rumbling again, and the lightning.
It sounds like it's in the distance, though.
No,
no. Okay. I got headphones on, so you know.
I do too, but I can still hear how loud it is out there. All right,
Alyson. We needed that rain, though.
Yes, we need it.
We
need the rain.
We missed the last storm, I guess yesterday or the day before. It just you could hear it all around us, but then it just nothing happened.
It rained like 10 miles north of us, but like we didn't get anything. Like the clouds, we saw the clouds, the wind kicked up, we were like ready for it, and then it just like never happened. So yeah.
You could even see the plants like reaching up, like
save us. Yeah. Well, that was excellent. I was actually thinking a little bit when we had Patti Negri on some of the elemental stuff and like the water energy, and that got me thinking a little bit about the moon and like the energy with that as well. And a lot of that made a lot of sense for some of the stuff that we've been talking about on this show. So how do we want to do it? I'll leave it up to you guys. Do we want to get into the moon phases first for July, or do we want to get into the weird news first?
Whatever you want to do. It's fine with me.
All right.
We need to flip a coin. Frosty said, "Weird news it is." All right.
All right.
If you're a spooky shop, a haunted attraction, a paranormal book, or a strange little business, if you are a strange little business, if you have a little strange business, oh goodness, you can sponsor the Witching Hours. We offer host-read ads that'll be a lot better than the one I just did for the weird news segment. You can find pricing details at thewitchinghourspodcast.com. Come get weird with us with your strange little business.
There you go. And we'll make Jenny do all the reads. So there you go.
Oh, geez, Louise.
So story number 1 tonight: Ohio village repeals fortune-telling license law.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Psychics, tarot readers, and soothsayers of all stripes in an Ohio town are now free to practice their craft without having to obtain a license after community officials repealed a decades law concerning fortune telling. According to local media report, the odd ordinance was struck down at a meeting of the Orange Village Council last week. This is a relic that's been sitting in our code and other codes for longer than I've been alive, explained 60-year-old official Jim Boyle. To that end, the 1963 law declared that no person not legally licensed to do so shall represent himself or herself to be an astrologer, fortune teller, clairvoyant, or palmister. Over 20 years later, in 1984, the village passed an amendment to the ordinance that included a penalty for violating the law, a $250 fine, and a 30-day
jail sentence.
Wow.
Yeah, each day during or which a violation occurs or continues. So if you did it a couple of days, you get 60 days in jail. Orange is the latest community to strike down fortune-telling regulations following similar decisions in West Virginia, and Michigan over the last few years. I had to look that up because I was wondering where that happened in Virginia, and it was in Norfolk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, and I brought this up because it's actually...
Good job, Norfolk.
You're right. Yeah, we'll go back down to Norfolk. Because we actually have some of those laws where we live as well. Like if you want... we've tossed around the idea of like either like going into places or having a shop or something like that, but you have to get like the sheriff's department to approve to sign off if you're a fortune teller.
Yes.
So yeah,
it's like a lot of crazy hoops to jump through in our little city. Yep.
Yeah, like if we wanted to have a weird shop of our own where you could get medium readings,
you have to
like, get it passed by the sheriff's deputies or something.
You have to get like three high standing community members to sign
off for you and take it to the sheriff's department.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it is interesting. Story number 2, the brain scan that could reveal a cold-blooded killer. Scientists discover key difference in people who commit premeditated murder. Scientists have uncovered a brain structure that could reveal whether someone is a cold-blooded killer. Researchers scanned the brains of 37 murderers while they were awaiting trial. This is important. They didn't want to do this study on people who are already in prison because they already know that once you're in prison, it can actually change your brain.
Yeah.
So they did it while people were still waiting trial. And they found that all had a critical difference in part of the brain called the amygdala. This small structure is located deep within the brain and plays a vital role in processing emotions, recognizing fear, and making moral decisions. But in the brains of confirmed killers, this vital structure was almost 6% smaller than the general population. They discovered that killers who premeditated their crimes had an even smaller amygdala, showing a 14.3% reduction in volume.
Wow.
Lead author Professor Adrian Rain of the University of Pennsylvania said that it's the more cold-blooded murderers who have blunted emotions as indicated by this impairment in the amygdala, an impairment that can contribute to the lack of concern for others.
Did I miss it? What does the amygdala do again? I don't remember.
It's what it's like what they said. It's what processing emotions, recognizing fear, and making moral decisions.
Yeah.
I picked this story.
Processing emotions. They just need to go down to. They need to wash their hands.
Do some breathing. Yeah,
wash their hands a lot.
Some regulated breathing. Do a little yoga. But the thing about this story, the reason I included it got me thinking a little bit about like it. Could we get to a point to where they just start like doing brain scans of kids and say, "Oh, this person's this person has to go into this program because you know what I mean?" So like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Because then, what if they never did? Even if it was, yeah, then you're punishing someone for something they haven't even done yet. Yeah,
and I don't know that it would go that way, but you know how things like that can get when people find out that someone is different than them. Things can get out of hands pretty quick. Story number 3, a Chinese spacecraft just arrived at the Earth's quasi-moon. China's Tianwen-2 spacecraft has arrived at one of the strangest objects in Earth's cosmic neighborhood, a tiny asteroid often called a mini-moon. The probe reached 469219 Kamoolaweya, also known as another long number, on July 4th, after just over 13 months of interplanetary travel. The arrival marks the beginning of the mission's most important phase as scientists prepare to investigate the asteroid up close and eventually collect samples for return to Earth. It is an asteroid between 130 and 330 feet. So they don't know the exact size of it. For me, I measure that. That's roughly the size of a baseball field, or maybe a little smaller, depending on how large Kamoa turns out to be when measured by the craft. It could be the smallest asteroid ever to be visited. The probe launched from Xishang Satellite Launch Center in May, and it will spend roughly 9 months orbiting the asteroid, obtaining a sample to send back to Earth. And it's thought that the asteroid may be a missing piece of the moon blasted off during a major impact long ago.
Wow.
Hmm.
Chico has a comment about the brain story.
Mm-hmm.
No, because the brain is affected by environment. So studying a brain after it is murdered doesn't tell us what the brain was like as a child and what trauma they experienced that has impacted their brain. Which, that does make sense, because they weren't testing people that were already in prison because their brains had already changed. So
their brains changed. Yeah.
Are their brains changing because they murdered somebody?
Because they murdered?
Yeah.
I mean, the difference, I guess where I wondered if that would possibly go is if, like, all of a sudden I had to go in for my annual brain scan in the future, and they're like, oh, Frosty's amygdala is 14% smaller than everybody else's. So now he has to go into this special program.
He's on the murder list.
Yeah. I don't know. But that is good. Maybe it's the act, the act itself, because you don't know whether someone's going to commit the crime until they do.
Mm-hmm.
The last story for tonight is talking about the AMOC again. Back in the news, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. The collapse of AMOC ocean current may already be locked in. A potentially catastrophic collapse of the Atlantic Ocean currents that control Europe's climate may already be inevitable. Based on model simulations, researchers estimate that there is a 10 to 23% chance that such a collapse is already locked in. There is a significant probability that we're already committed to collapse, and we can't change that even now, says Phil Holden at Open University in the UK. The AMOC, or the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, acts like a giant conveyor belt carrying warm water from the tropics towards Europe while sending colder, denser water back south. It's a major reason Europe has a relatively mild climate and also helps regulate weather patterns around the globe. The new research suggests that increasing amounts of fresh water from melting Greenland ice are making the North Atlantic less salty and less dense. And since dense, salty waters would help drive the circulation, this freshening could eventually cause the entire system to slow dramatically or shut down. According to researchers, once enough fresh water enters the system, the collapse may become inevitable, even if greenhouse gas emissions are later reduced.
Correct.
So they've been warning about this for a while. We've been talking about it for a while, and we've been talking about this ever since we started the Witching Hours. So it's something definitely I've always felt to keep an eye on, because the shutdown of the belt is going to cause another ice age. So
North said, model schmodel, they can't even get the weather right.
Right, exactly. We were supposed to have like 5 thunderstorms this week, and we managed to get one of them, right?
No, the Earth is definitely changing. I think that's definitely obvious.
They know that it's turned off multiple times in history. Each time has caused an ice age. And then the last show we had on this, I don't know, it was a recent show, maybe sometime in June. They said that they've measured the speed of the belt and it's slowing down.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, it's a natural progression of the Earth. It's what happens continuously over its lifetime.
Yeah.
Now,
so I guess
did we help speed it along a little faster?
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible.
More than likely. And where we are in Virginia, I imagine we just might need to really make sure we're getting some good winter jackets going. And to all our friends to the north, I guess we'll see you down here sometime soon. But,
all our Canadian friends will be down here. All right. That was the weird news.
That was the weird news.
So now it's
weird.
time for Alyson to tell us the moon update for July.
Have you heard anything about July yet?
No, but the way you're saying it makes it sound like it's not good.
Well, no, I don't think it's good or bad.
Okay.
But it's jam packed with like so much stuff going on. And I really don't think it's bad. It's just a lot. I guess I'll go through the weeks first.
Start at the beginning, and when you get to the end,
at the beginning.
Stop.
The first week, the first week of July, on July 4th, we had a Mars and Uranus conjunction, and this is like literal fireworks in the sky, because Uranus is the planet that likes to shake things up, and Mars is the planet that likes to get aggravated. And in the sign of Gemini, which is very up, down, you don't know if it's good, you don't know if it's bad, it's not black, it's not white, it's like examining everything in between. And so just kicking off the month of July was like actual fireworks, astrologically speaking.
So when was the conjunction again?
July 4th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I think I saw. Would it have looked like a giant star in the sky? Because they're so close together.
Oh, I don't know if we could see it with.
I don't know, because I saw a huge star in the sky on the 4th of July on our way home, and I was like, "What is that?" Like,
maybe
it looked. I mean, it had to. I thought it was a planet, but maybe
it was the mantids.
It's the mantids. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming for me. Yeah. Huh.
It's interesting that you say that, because throughout the whole month of July, the planets are going to align in what they're calling a basket, or it kind of like looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like normally when they say we have this planet alignment, we can see it. So I don't know if maybe we will be able to see it. Because by the end of this month, they're all going to be aligned in a basket, and this supposedly hasn't happened in 250 years.
Oh wow! 250 years! What a coincidence!
Oh yeah, that's the other thing about Uranus and Gemini is that the like American Revolution, the Civil War, all happened when Uranus was in Gemini. The other times that Uranus was in Gemini. So that's one of, and Uranus is an outer planet, so it takes a really long time it's going to be in Gemini for a while. So lots of potential chaotic things and revolution kind of things can happen during that time period, but also like advancement in technology and things like that. So anyways,
looked up the conjunction, and it said that you could see it in the pre-dawn hours for 45 to 90 minutes in the eastern sky, and Mars would have been a bright red orange point of light, and Uranus would have been extremely faint, but they would have been really close together. So that is not what I saw.
Venus looks kind of red too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Maybe it was that.
And Venus is always prominent.
Right,
Venus is probably the easiest thing to see.
Yeah. That may have been
besides the moon, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It just seemed bigger than normal that night. Anyway, continue.
Impossible. Well, I also want to say, I had to put that up there, but Fantasy Animal Vegans, they saw a huge heavenly body as well. Yeah. It's the mantids.
So I bet once they all align in that basket shape, I bet we will be able to see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this week, Neptune is going retrograde in Aries. That's happening tomorrow, July 7th, and we talk a lot about Mercury retrograde, but Neptune retrograde isn't like chaotic like Mercury is, because Mercury is communication, and so much in our society relies on communication. So when communication is kind of halted or stunted, that's going to cause a lot of chaos. Neptune retrograde for me is kind of just an opportunity to maybe unearth subconscious things, to explore things that might be blocking your dreams. It really is just kind of like a rest, or like it gives you this opportunity to like relearn something in regards to subconscious energy, spiritual energy, psychic gifts, that sort of thing. Pluto is also retrograde at this time, so I always look at a Pluto retrograde as just a pause of the transformation. Like, change is hard, so I don't mind it slowing down a little bit and taking one step at a time instead of just jump right into something really quick. So tomorrow, Neptune goes retrograde. It's going to be retrograde until December 12th. And I thought there was something significant about it going retrograde on 7/7 and going direct on 12/12. If anybody's interested in numerology, it feels
7/7,
lucky.
12/12.
It feels like we're given this opportunity to kind of like rebalance something and restructure and reorganize how we approach our dreams, how we are connecting to our subconscious energy. How I feel like it'll probably positively affect the shift that we are going through as well.
Good.
Yes. Venus goes into Virgo. It's currently in Leo. It's going to move into Virgo on July 9th. And we have Jupiter and Jupiter just moved into Leo, so we've got like a lot of this fiery, passionate kind of energy in the like at the end of June and the beginning of July. But when Venus moves into Virgo, it's a little bit more practical. It's like Leo's all fiery and passionate and running with your heart, but Virgo's like, okay, but like the practical things, the daily routines, do they snore? And or like what kind of annoying things do they do that like the day-to-day things that you have to get used to? So Leo's like, oh, I'm so in love with them, and Virgo's like, yeah, but what about all of these things? So Venus in Virgo is very practical, focusing on the daily routine sort of things. On July 12th, the sun conjoins Mercury, and this is in Cancer, and Mercury is retrograde right now. It went retrograde at the end of June. So when the sun and Mercury come together, it gives us this moment of clarity. So the theme with the Mercury retrograde in Cancer is about self-care. How are you communicating your needs? And are you taking care of your needs? So the lesson of a Mercury retrograde in Cancer is like, how are you approaching asking for help, needing help, asking for expressing your needs. So when the sun and Mercury come together, it gives us this opportunity to find clarity around those things. So if communication is off, if things are feeling a little wonky, when the sun and Mercury come together, it has this moment of clarity that you might be able to figure out how you're making your way through the Mercury retrograde, or the rest of the Mercury retrograde, which will be until July 23rd.
So the Mercury is going to be in retrograde, but then it joins with the sun. So
the sun is passing it, yeah, because the sun
provides a moment of clarity in the time of the retrograde.
Right.
Cool.
Then the following week, July 14th, we have our new moon in Cancer, which these new moons are closing out the moon cycles. So the sun's already been in Cancer. We've already explored themes of self-care. And now with this new moon in Cancer, you're able to kind of set those things in stone. Hopefully maybe Venus in Virgo gets you an idea of like your daily regular routines that you want to like start doing. Like the new moon is a good time to start new routines, specifically in regards to self-care with the Cancer new moon. But then right after that, on the 22nd, the sun moves into Leo. So if Jenny and I were born on the 22nd this year, we would be officially Leos and not Virgo. Oh wait, I'm sorry, we're talking about July. Never mind.
I was like, wait a minute, you're getting ahead of yourself there.
We would have been Cancer, or
we would have been Virgos instead. Or
I'm getting ahead of
Cancers
myself
instead.
because I did August too. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the sun moves into Leo, so we're officially in Leo season, and Jupiter is there as well, which just brings a lot of positive energy. Well, Jupiter will be in Leo for about a year, and this just gives us an opportunity to grow and expand in a very Leo-centered way when Jupiter is in Leo. So check whatever house Leo is in, and that's where you can expect to experience like good luck and good fortune, because I like to focus on the positive things when all of these other crazy things are happening. So check to see what your Leo house is, and that you can expect hopefully good positive things happening in that area of your life.
So if somebody was born on July 22nd this year, they would end up being a Leo, not a Cancer.
Right.
That's my brother, witness dude.
Oh.
Yeah, so he would be a Leo instead of a Cancer. Us cusp people are just weird anyway.
So July 23rd, Mercury goes direct. And so everybody likes to celebrate on that day. We're finally, we made it through the crazy technical times. I really don't think we're going to be experiencing like technical difficulties just because of the Cancer energy. I think it's more emotional and expressing your needs and taking care of yourself, taking care of others, things like that. Then July 26th, Saturn goes retrograde. So by the end of this month, we are kind of in the first half of retrograde-apalooza. So by the end of July, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and then Chiron is going to go retrograde at the very beginning of August. So this is kind of the first half of the retrograde-apalooza that we're having this year. And at the very end of the month, we'll have our full moon in Aquarius, which is our last full moon before eclipse season. So that's a lot of stuff going on.
It is a
There's
lot.
a lot of stuff going on.
People are saying the basket, that when all of those planets go into alignment, that this is supposed to kick off the change of civilization, the change of humanity for the positive, for good.
Which you said the last time it happened was 250 years ago. And this is
Right.
the 250th anniversary of the
Right.
United States of America.
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
So it's interesting to look at the different dynamics of the new moon and the full moon. Normally we have a Cancer new moon with a Capricorn full moon. So that helps you do the work self-care balance, work rest balance. But with the new moon in Cancer and Aquarius energy, kind of has us looking at self-care, but also how you can take care of the collective. It's like balancing, like because Aquarius is the community and the innovator, but it's innovating for the progression of society, the movement of society, evolution of society. So we're kind of looking at, are we taking care of ourselves, and how are we taking care of our community?
Appropriate for this year. And all the community things.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the community stuff. Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, I guess this has been coming up for a long time, but the self-care stuff too. Because like we were getting into that a little bit with Patti today too. But it seems like a theme that's been running across a lot of people.
I really thought that we would see a huge shift after 2020 of having shorter work weeks and more work from home. But it does kind of feel like we've gone. I mean, I think some places are doing more work from home and maybe less hours, but it seems like we've kind of gone back to the old normal.
I think so too. I think there was a moment there that it could
like
change.
It was changing.
Yeah.
And everybody said no.
Yep.
Well, I know there was like a lot of
trying to hold on to the old.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work anymore.
Yep. Clinging on to it for sure. Yeah, CMC just said all the here in Seattle, all the tech companies are back in the office.
Mm.
Dang.
Yep.
And all the government offices are back in office, right?
Government office. Yep. And then at one point in time, like for educators, there's like the days are split between like personal days and sick days. And they were just like, oh, like we're just going to make everything the same. And you can just use the days however you want to use them. But they never actually like, a lot of places didn't actually do it. So now they're all still separated. So like a lot of talk happened, but it didn't quite come out the way some people hoped that it would, you know, for sure. But we'll see. I saw some lawmaker somewhere put in to try to change things to a 32-hour work week. So I don't know. Well, hey.
Well, they got to pay us more for that.
I just want that 8th day of the week. I just need the 8th day, and it needs to be a weekend. You know, Frosty's Day or whatever. And
so a 5-day work week and a 3-day weekend. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, time's just made up anyway. Why not?
Right? None of it matters. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end of the show.
It is the end of the show.
The end of the show. So we had a great time talking to you again tonight, Alyson. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
And
July. I'm looking forward to that revolution. Come on, basket.
I know. It feels like we're going in the basket and then we're gonna merge something else.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Right.
Maybe it's a cauldron. Maybe it's we're getting stirred in the cauldron.
Get your shit together. Let's go.
I did want to say real quick, Norsk resubscribed for 30 months. So thank you so much, Norsk. Luce resubscribed for 4 months. They've been subscribed for 11 months. Thank you, Luce. CMC Airboss resubscribed for 26 months.
Dang, CMC.
Subscribed for 29 months. Thank you so much, CMC. And we got a follow from Petals and Pines. So thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for who jumped on and to hang out with us, subs and follows and all those things.
I'm right there with you, Keisha.
Yeah. And thank you to Keisha, and thanks to Luz for modding, and Keisha for helping produce. Keisha's been really busy behind the scenes, getting all these wonderful guests and making sure everybody's lined up and ready to come on and all those things. So,
thank you, everyone. Keisha. Yes, she is.
I guess next time maybe we can find a little bit more to talk a little bit about our weekend at Team Weird Takeover. We got to talk about it quite a bit with Patti tonight, kind of tell her about some of the experiences we had. So that was good. So, but we had a blast. So I guess I saw over here Keisha was saying that Mr. Weird is on. So let's see. Let me make sure I got that.